Another episode of Chopping It Up. I'm your host, Kevin Custis. I come every week, talk to you guys about some healthcare related issues. That's affecting you, maybe you personally, or your community, or the community at large. I like to talk about a lot of current events, mostly things that are really affecting people, everyone globally, pretty much every day. And of course, today, the biggest thing once again is heat. Man, it is hot outside. They claim that the hottest days ever recorded were within the first 15 days of the month of July. Some states have been recording temperatures over 110 degrees. Some states are constantly over 100 degrees. You have awful weather patterns, these crazy storms that are popping up, and you got 100 million people, that are getting heat advisory alerts. I mean, this is, as far as I can remember, this is probably one of the worst summers of record when it comes to heat. The water temperature is almost as warm as the air temperature. It is so hot, and it's just causing a lot of mayhem out there. I mean, I can only imagine the first responders are just constantly getting calls regarding heat-related injuries. To me, thinking about what's going on and the number of calls that have gone out for heat-related illnesses, and this heat is not giving in. It's not giving in. It's going to keep on coming. We're only in July, okay? And to me, this is almost like a health emergency, so to speak, to me. All right? And when I look at this, I start telling people that have young children, the elderly, people with chronic illnesses, okay? These people need to remain indoors, okay? They need to remain indoors. If you don't have an air conditioning unit to stay cool, all right? You need to contact the local agencies to see if they have air conditioners that can be given away. I know they used to have these programs, okay? Contact someone that you may know to try to get them to get you an air conditioner to stay cool, all right? If you can't find an air conditioner to be cool, go somewhere where it is cool, all right? I remember years ago, one of my uncles, we used to laugh all the time. In the summertime, he was living in Georgia, and in the summertime, he would say, you know what? He gets up in the morning, and he takes him one of his portable chairs, and he used to go to the mall. And he would literally sit in the mall all day, every day, because the mall is air conditioned, until that sun went down. Then he went home, turned his fans on, and, he was basically okay at night, but even at night in some cities, the low is still in the 90s. I'm like, wow, this is really, really hot, but you got to go somewhere to stay cool. Any kind of way you can think of being cool, you gotta try to figure out how to make that happen for yourselves. The good thing is that it doesn't appear to be a water shortage this year because of all these torrential downpours that we've been having. So if you have a sprinkler system, or a hose with some sprinklers, turn them on, put your chair out, and let the water, the nice cool water coming out of the well or out of the plumbing system, kind of keep you cool. Put it under a tree, at least so you're not in the direct sunlight. Any way you can think of to try to, just cool off and enjoy it. All right, senior citizens, the best thing to do is stay indoors. If you don't have air conditioning, you need to go someplace that has air conditioning. Okay, I think that's a lot of the calls that people are getting are just people that have been heat exhaustion, heat strokes. You know, people are outdoors that shouldn't be. Tourists that are traveling. You know, they say every 15 minutes or so they got to find some shade. I mean, I understand people want to take vacation. I'm not going to tell you don't take your vacations, but you need to find ways to keep yourselves out of harm's way when it comes to this type of weather. The other, I mean, that's the best way to avoid issues with the heat is really just not be in it. And I'm almost certain that if it continues this way, we're going to start to get, some type of government regulation where maybe only essential personnel may be out during the day when it's so hot. And I wouldn't blame them for that, because I mean, this is really, really dangerous weather. And, you know, seeing people all of a sudden succumb to heat exhaustion, it can, if you can't get them cooled off quickly or get them into a cool place, it can become a very, a serious emergency in a very short period of time. If you don't have to go outside, don't go outside. All right. I mean, I know people got to work. Okay. You can travel during times where the sun is not out. When the sun's out, stay in. Okay. Hydrate yourselves. Every week, I talk about the importance of hydration. Okay. You must, like I said, the easiest way, and because it's so hot, if you're outdoors, this is that time of year where 1.5 maintenance is actually the key. So you take your body weight, add that 0. All right. So if you're 150 pounds, okay, at 1,500, all right, you need to start thinking about maybe 2,400 milliliters of water, which might be 10 bottles for the day, but that might be enough, okay, to keep you from having heat-related issues, cramping, fatigue, confusion. These types of things can hurt you. All right. You don't have to. I also mentioned plain water is not necessarily the answer because of the insensible losses, okay, of the electrolytes, through just sweating. Sweating is the body's natural way to regulate its temperature, but you can lose electrolytes by sweating. Okay, so you need to try to make sure that you're replenishing some of those as well. You don't have to just have plain water. Okay, you can actually eat your water, melons, okay, cantaloupes, watermelons, oranges, grapefruits, okay, grapes. These things are loaded with water. You can actually eat your water, so to speak. You don't have to always just drink water. All right. Yeah, I was telling somebody the other day because he was complaining of just cramps. I said, because the doctor wants him to drink lots of water, which he's been doing. Okay. And, unfortunately, it has other problems. But, he said he's been drinking the water and now he's cramping. I said, because you're drinking plain water, I said, try some Gatorade with the water instead, as opposed to just plain water. Try some Gatorade with it. Okay. You can put stuff in your water. You can put cucumbers in your water. You can put lemon wedges in your water. You can put oranges in your water. Okay. If you don't like the plain water, but you have to put things in your water to replenish some of the things that you're losing. You can even sprinkle some salt in your water if you have to. Some salt or even some sugar. Lemonade, iced tea. Okay. We need to get you to drink more fluids during this time of year. All right. Because it'll be the fluids that'll ultimately, keep you from running into huge heat problems. The other thing is I need you to think about your clothing. All right. The more skin you have exposed, the more dangerous it becomes. Okay. All right. Not mentioning sunburn. So you got to wear, of course, your sunblock. All right. But you gotta try to allow your body The more your body perspires, the better your body's able to regulate the temperature. Okay, so you got your head, cover your head. All right, wide brimmed hats. Okay, all right, any kind of hat. That's all you have. Baseball cap, but wide brimmed hats. Just keep that sun off of your head. It's easiest way, to lose a lot of, have a lot of issues is to leave your head exposed, to that sun. Put a hat on your head. The hat will help keep you cool. There was a hat that I had bought some years ago. It was probably I like to go to Florida and I play golf. I used to travel to Florida in August. It used to rain so much. I tried July a couple times, but I won't do that again. It was so hot in Florida on those golf courses. I mean, it was blistering heat. And I'm out there, on that golf course just burning up. But at the clubhouse, they had this hat. And what you could do with this hat, you could take cold ice water and pour it in your hat, inside this particular hat. And you put the hat on. And it was almost like the cold water turned into a portable air conditioning. It made me so much more comfortable. Just having that hat on and that cool water that was inside there, I don't know if it just saturated it, but it made not only my head feel a whole lot better, but it made the rest of the body feel cool as well. They have these little devices I've seen, like a Sharper Image, or you see them online. These air conditioning units you wear around your neck. That pretty much does the same thing. It helps keep the body cool. All right. The key is to stay cool and stay hydrated. I can't stress that enough for you all out there. It is very dangerous out there. We've had a lot of torrential downpours. Okay. We got this slow-moving storm going across the Northeast. We had it over the weekend. Roads were closed, a lot of floodings, even some highways were shut down, and cars were stranded because of all this rain that came down, during the course of a day. And we're still experiencing a lot of the traffic issues as a result of this. A lot of houses, a lot of power outages, a lot of houses were flooded. It's a mess. Okay. I mentioned this to you in other shows. Make sure you're prepared. Okay. When the power goes out, make sure you have a generator. Okay. To turn your power back on. All right. Because without power this time of year, guess what? You have no cooling system, which means you're going to suffer from this heat. All right. We need to be prepared. I know it's difficult for people. Everyone may not have the means to do that. But if you don't have the means to do that, need to find other options if you can, friends and family members, okay, that may be able to help you during this time. All right. My own family members, I told them, I said, you know what? The air conditioning unit went out. I said, you can't stay there. All right. Go over here where it's cool. I know when I have my cat, I remember what I'm going to do with my cat. I said, take your cat with you. All right. Take the cat with you. All right. Put him in a carrier, a cat carrier or animal carrier. Take it with you. Take everything you need to take care of the cat. All right. You don't leave a cat in the house. The cat will succumb to the heat as well, just like you did, like you will. All right. And just go somewhere until that whole air conditioning system is resolved. You have to do that. You can't, if you stay in these homes, all right, without AC, you're putting yourself in for a world of trouble. Your body you just can't get cool enough. Okay. That's, with that said, I'm gonna leave that pretty much where it is. I can go on about this heat forever. Other issues that I've noticed going on in the world. Listen, there's a gonorrhea epidemic. And over 100% increase in women. Wow. You know, that was alarming to hear. Looking at things that are going on these days, just you look on social media, you look anywhere, all right? And there's just a lot of flaunting and flirting, and I don't know, we would call it modeling, okay? And, so there's people are people, okay? They're going to be people, and you got people out here. If it's an increased incidence in women, that means you have men out here that are experiencing symptoms, burning during urination, discharge, you know, maybe some lymphadenopathy, swollen lymph nodes in the groin area, okay, that either not getting treated or not fully treated, and they're still having active intercourse, unprotected. That's one direction. Then you have women, unsuspectingly, that are having intercourse unprotected. You have women that have gotten infected. See, the thing is with women, it's almost difficult there's really no symptoms for women for gonorrhea until it gets so far gone, they're really sick. I mean, really sick. Okay. So they can get infected and pass this, sexually transmitted disease on to other men. Okay. And it's just going on and on. So nobody's protecting anybody. Women aren't protecting themselves because they have vaginal condoms. Okay. All right. Men aren't protecting themselves. I mean, they're having unprotected sex in both directions. All right. So it doesn't matter where it starts or where it finishes. All right. It's just being spread because we're being careless. All right. We're being careless and we're not taking care of ourselves for a lot of reasons. You're seeing these pretty girls all over the place on billboards and, and on the internet, and listen, it's exciting. It's exciting. All right. And you're pursuing, you're seeing young ladies, you're pursuing them. Okay. But the thing is, you have to protect yourselves. You got to protect yourselves because gonorrhea is the least of your problems. Okay. I mean, what if you get, HIV, which, yes, there's treatment available to keep the virus undetectable. All right. So, yes, there's treatment. All right. That can help you lead a normal life, to protect you, keep you from getting age related illnesses. Okay. But, all right, who wants that? Who wants that? When all you have to do is protect yourself. Put your condoms on. Okay. Both men and women, put them on. All right. Okay. Abstinence, all right, face it, that's the best form of protection, but it's almost out of the question. It's not going to happen. All right. If it happens, it's such a rarity that it happens that it's almost non-existent. Non-existent. So if people are going to be active, which we know they are, all right, we're not going to stop them. All right. All we ask is that you protect yourself. Wear your condoms. Wear your condoms. All right. Women, men, you don't have to depend on the man to wear one. Okay. All right. Men, you don't have to always feel as though you should have to wear it. Wear it anyway for your own protection. But women, you need to protect yourself too. All right. Over 100% increase. All right. In the gonorrhea infection. That's crazy. That's too much. All right. All right. For something that's preventable, avoidable. Okay. I mean, what are you going to do? You have to do that. All right. A lot of issues going out here in the world. All right. One of the biggest ones now is this crime. This crime. Okay. Parents, we need to educate our children. All right. We need to somehow help them to better deal with altercations, even though it's role play, even if it's role play or what have you, to get themselves out of altercations, how to keep themselves away from problems and altercations. Young teenagers dying as a result of gun violence. You know, you had a shootout amongst motorcycle gangs on Interstate 4 within the last day or two. Okay. The one young lady riding on the back of the bicycle. All right. I know she was in really critical condition. They didn't expect her to survive. She was, she got shot in her head, unfortunately. And they didn't suspect her. I don't think she, if she's surviving, it's a miracle. But they don't expect her to survive at all. And why? Because you wear a different set of your motorcycle gang, because you wear a different set of colors than the other person. How do you know going at 100 miles an hour that's the person that's causing you a problem? I mean, it's almost as if it's random. You're having an argument over whatever with another person, a disagreement, okay, and people are they inviting each other for further confrontation or physical confrontation. And the next thing you know, a firearm is, discharged, and people are losing their lives. This is happening every day. Okay, and it's why? Why? I mean, why is it that we can't find better ways to resolve our differences? Okay, why isn't anyone, working, in the home? I don't want that call. I know that man that got that call about his 15-year-old son dying. He didn't want that call. These calls are unexpected. Nobody wants that call. All right. So we have to talk to, our kids about altercations. We have to talk to our kids about how to deal with confrontations to keep it from becoming violent. All right. There's nothing wrong, except, your pride can really, really hurt you. Pride is a dangerous weapon. And a lot of times it's weaponized against you because it makes you think, it makes you act without using good judgment. Sometimes, you just got to be like, you know what? I don't want it, and just walk away. I heard a joke the other day, you know what? He who runs away gets to run away another day. Yeah, it's, nobody wants to, be depicted as a person that runs away from confrontation. Okay. But when some of these confrontations are becoming, a matter of life and death, and the reasoning behind it, it's not justified. It's not worth it. So, we have to figure out how to look at some of these things that are going on and how to diffuse them, all right, and get away from them, all right? And if you find yourself in constant confrontation with different people, then perhaps you need to find a different group of people, all right, or just not be around them at all. Just move on, please, all right? it doesn't make sense. We're losing people for silly things that are preventable. You know, you have some people that are pushing, pushing, pushing. You know, people. The best thing to do with pushy people is just leave them be. Let them push somewhere else. All right. Your goal is to get home, get through the day, and start again tomorrow. All right. Get home safe for you and to your families. All right. You know, this world. Wow. You know, just the lack of humanity in general is concerning. I still don't know where the anger is coming from. You know, or just a total disregard for people, decency. How hard is it to be a decent person? How hard is it to be nice? You know, why are you punishing yourselves by being angry? You're not hurting nobody but yourself being angry. You're the one that's feeling bad, okay, about whatever's going on around you. Nobody else. If you didn't act out, then no one would even know how you feel. You're punishing yourselves by with these pent up aggression, with this pent up aggression and emotion. For what? Okay. You have it's sad. It's sad. You know, I'm using the example of the migrants. You know, what kind of legislative body orders its workers to push people back? All right. What I mean by that is, you know, you have migrants, they're crossing the Rio Grande to come to the United States for asylum. Listen, I understand, I get it. Resources are thin, they're stretched. Okay. We barely have housing for our own. All right. And we're complicating matters by bringing more people in. All right. Asylum seekers. All right. People that just want better opportunity for themselves, for, you know, people that just want to feel safe. All right. These people travel by foot, by truck, by boat, by hook or by crook. We don't know how they travel. You know, and then they're tired, they're hungry, they're thirsty. You know, you put up razor ribbon, okay, to force people to cross in unsafe areas or get cut up by this razor barbed wire that you've constructed. Okay. You know, and then you have the people that are working for you to push small children and babies back into the river. Who does that, man? What kind of person are you to conjure up that type of practice? You know, you got people drowning. You know, you refuse to give them water. Who does that? Why? I mean, you know, it's only money. I get it. It's only money. You know, and I know that, you know, the worst thing you can do is, you know, nobody wants to lose money and nobody wants to spend it. All right. But sometimes it's money well spent if you're helping somebody else. All right. You know, pushing children and nursing babies back into a river, you know, that's just cruel. You know, for it to be condoned, supported, and continued as a constant delivery system, there's really something wrong in this world, man. I mean, that's how cruel we've become, not only as strangers, but we're cruel to ourselves, hurting each other, not looking out for one another. You know, you want to know why people are depressed? You want to know why people act out? You want to know why people look to hurt everybody else? You got all these more mass shootings than we got days. Okay? Is take a look at how people are treating one another. We're building our own enemies from within. If you can't be nice to people, then don't be around people. Don't be a public servant if you can't find a way to be decent. You want to know, there's always a root cause to someone, reaching the point of committing a horrible crime of hurting someone else. All right. Well, we already know we're not getting to that root cause. All right. They're all over the place. I mean, so many people out here just have undiagnosed mental conditions. Okay. So many people out here suffering from anger management issues as a result of mental health issues. All right. Why? Because, when you meet people from different backgrounds, and if you are genuinely interested in them, then they could be probably the worst individual that you could possibly ever meet. All right. But if you are genuinely interested in helping somebody, they will respond to you. They will listen to you and they will talk with you. All right. Because a lot of times, that's all people are looking for. They're crying out for help. All right. They may cry out for help, before they hurt themselves, or they're crying out for help before they look to hurt other people. Okay. I'm almost certain that before they reach that point, that they wished that someone took the time to help them with their pain. Right? Because people are in pain for a lot of reasons out there. Okay. And the world is constantly beating on our people every day. They're beating on people. Everything is automated. You can't call or talk to somebody anymore. All right. People are out of work, but yet you have automation. Okay. So, I mean, you may not even notice it till you try to call someplace yourself and you're getting a machine to answer your questions. Sometimes you got to repeat yourself 4 or 5 times before the machine understands what it is you're trying to say. Okay. We need to get back to the role of service. Service. Okay. And what I mean by service is actually reaching out, all right, giving without any desire for return or reward. Just genuinely wanting to help the next man or woman. So, we can go on and on about that. But the reality of it is that we need to take more time learning to love each other, love ourselves, and we got to work on taking better care of ourselves. So, with that being said, I think, I said enough today. All right. I'm going to say good night to everyone. Okay. Have a blessed week. And by all means, you know what? If you have to, take some time off, stay out of this heat, stay hydrated. You know what? Walk around with a smile on your face and, try to make someone else's day. All right. It may even make your day a lot better. With that being said, just chopping it up. See you guys next week.